Hey, happy Wednesday, Houston. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Kim Castro, and this is your 10 a.m. update from the National Hurricane Center. So what is Tropical Storm Bertha doing right now? It's sustaining its wind speed at 50 miles an hour. Gusts are still at 65, and it continues its slow progression west-northwest at 6 miles an hour. So what do you need to know today? It is going to have impacts along Louisiana, making a landfall off the coast of New Orleans by around 1 o'clock this afternoon. Here's the latest track from the Hurricane Center. You'll notice it maintains its tropical storm force strength, not just through Louisiana, but even as it enters its second landfall in Texas, as it gets closer to our coastline. Now, the timing of all of this, it's going to exit Louisiana early tomorrow morning and then push towards Houston by tomorrow afternoon and evening. From then, it's expected to continue on near Corpus as a remnant low. The wind is going to be minimal, but we will track some impacts along the coastline from it. And that is why the National Hurricane Center has issued a tropical storm watch. What does this mean? Well, it means with the push of wind from Bertha offshore, we could see some coastal erosion, and the tropical storm force winds at 40 miles an hour could lead to some minimal wind damage, like broken tree limbs, which could lead to some isolated outages in Galveston. There is no storm surge that is expected, which is the good news. Most of the impacts that we'll be tracking will be tomorrow, although some lingering showers could last all the way until Friday morning. Notice the rain potential is really isolated. With Bertha, we are talking about half an inch of rainfall up to an inch and a half area wide. You'll notice coastal wind gusts will be up to 40 miles an hour along the coastline, and closer towards the city center, we'll be tracking some winds at around 20 to 30 miles an hour. The potential for tropical storm force winds in Houston proper is just at 10 to 20%, so that will be limited. Now here's a look at future track wind gusts. We're looking at 30-mile-an-hour gusts for the Louisiana coastline throughout the entire day. Then as we head into tomorrow, you'll notice the snapshot is at 8:30 in the evening. We're tracking gusts in Galveston at 20 to 40, like I mentioned, and then closer towards Houston, the wind will be reduced. Now I do think it's going to get breezy tomorrow, but I don't think we'll have too much tropical storm activity as we get to our Thursday evening time frame. Notice the spaghetti plot models puts most of the activity for Bertha gliding along the coastline. There's just a couple that want to lift it a little bit further north. Regardless, it is very limited in its energy, and it is very limited in its rain potential. Look at our future track models in terms of rainfall. Most of the energy for Bertha is displaced to the south part of the storm, and so most of that stays offshore. I think Louisiana could pick up a couple of inches today, particularly New Orleans. Beyond that, we're looking at diminishing rain potential. So that's a snapshot at 3:30 on a Thursday. We're starting to watch some of those showers moving in from the coastline closer to the I-10 corridor. So I think your commute might be slowed down a little bit with some isolated downpours, but it's just that, isolated. It's not going to be lasting all day, and it's not going to be very heavy. It'll just be brief. Notice then it pushes towards Corpus Christi, and the immediate coastline of Corpus could accumulate a couple of inches as well. So here's a look at rainfall totals through Friday afternoon. Most of us just picking up about a quarter of an inch of rain. I mean, for context, any regular afternoon in Houston could produce this and much more. So we're lucking out. As far as rain is concerned, it's not going to be an issue. We will be tracking a few isolated areas that could pick up 1 to 2 inches. Here's a look at future tracks. So isolated thunderstorms are possible this evening. You'll notice as we head into tomorrow, we'll watch some of those bands from Bertha giving us some isolated downpours. That's a snapshot of 5, but you can probably tell this isn't a whole lot to monitor on future track radar. I don't think it's going to be very active. Most of Bertha will have fizzled out by the time it gets to Texas. And because it's gliding along the coastline, it's really not allowed to get its act together too much. Something else to note about today, we are under a weather impact alert because of the heat. We're going to be tracking air temperatures that break records, and the heat humidity combination could lead to a heat index value of 116 degrees. So that's why we are monitoring today. And then tomorrow we'll be looking at those isolated storm chances from Bertha, but all in all, very manageable, a little bit of wind, and that starts to fizzle out by Friday morning. The rest of the 7 days shows much favorable conditions. So we will continue to give you updates from the National Hurricane Center throughout the day. Make sure you watch our later newscasts as well, coming up at 12, 4, 5, 6, and 10. We'll see you there.